All right. Hello. Get back to work once more. I'm just going to skip the intro and get right to work. So I believe that last time I discovered that glitch where the character would teleport forward wasn't a glitch at all, and he was not teleporting. It's just that he was like walking while the Godot emblem was like being displayed on the screen. So it gave the impression that he's walking forward, but really, I mean that he's being teleported forward, but really he's just walking forward because the script said walk forward. So yeah, it ended up being kind of a waste of time. But well, at least now I know it works properly. Hold on a second. Live chat. Here we go. And after that, I managed to get this loading zone working properly. This level's still a bit barren. I gotta say, I'm pretty proud of how the of the artistic side of how this level has turned out so far, but none of these buildings have interiors or even like loading zones. I might just put like doors on the like locked doors on the front of them for the time being until I decide which ones will be open and have interiors. But yeah, until then, maybe I should create a just close them off. Yeah, whatever. I'll get to we'll get there when we get there. For now, I think actually, now that I think about it, I think the right thing to do next would actually be to go back to the deepWoods level and figure out what's going to happen after the player is on the hunt down. What is it called? What's it called? I have like this whole quest system that I have set up. Quest system, need weapon, follow me. Yeah, it's called Hunt the Monster. Yeah, it's kind of a temporary name. I'll come up with better names for the quests at some other point. For now, I'm just going to. There's like the intro quest where you get the weapon that you need in order to leave. You start off in like this Kokiri village sort of level where they don't let you leave until you have weapon. That's what this is. And then there's that little dude character thing. He says, "Follow me, human," and that's the quest. You follow him, and then so you get to this level, and then they stand around the table and tell you what they want you to do. And what they want you to do is they want you to kill this so-called monster, quote unquote, that has been terrorizing the Cyanor village. I spelt it in multiple ways, but this is like a kind of off topic, but I spell Cyanor as Saiannor. I changed the I to a Y, but the file name is going to be it's gonna have the I for now on, or for now on, not from now on, just for now. I may fix that later. Oh, yeah, fun fact about file names. In Halo 2, the Arbiter is called the Dervish in the file system. Weird, right? Apparently that's what he was originally going to be called, but then they changed it because it was like insensitive towards Islam. Not exactly sure why. I'm not familiar with Islam very much. I think the dervish is like an important thing in Islam, and it's like kind of in the wake of 9/11. They didn't want to have that kind of reference in their game, so they changed him to Arbiter. Kind of irrelevant, but yeah, let's. Oh yeah, I think I said I wanted to change the layout of this level a bit. And that's because the way that it's hard to see right now. I'm going to turn fog off. There's the thing. Oh, it's under lighting. Interesting. Yeah, I'm just going to disable fog so that I can see things properly. Okay, so player starts over here, and they first like spawn in. But this is like the main entrance to the woods. We go over here, and this takes them to the other area. So there's like a bunch of like it's kind of a maze. There's some dead ends, and there's some areas that double back on places you've already been. It's overall a pretty confusing level, but that's deliberate. There's a few holes that I need to fix. Okay, so anyways, this was originally intended to be the entrance to the temple level or the dungeon, but I'm realizing now that the temple is easier to get to than the area over there, which was like the original. I don't know. I created this old level like way before I had planned a lot of stuff out, and now I have kind of realizing that I have to change things. I like the way that level looks. I think it looks a lot like you would expect a early N64 era, not early N64, just N64 era like forest to look. But yeah, that's supposed to lead to the boss room. That's supposed to lead to the temple. They're supposed to be kind of connected in a way. But I'm realizing that this way is easier to get to than this way. I'm thinking I need to change the level layout in some way to make so that the shortcut is actually a shortcut and not a long cut. Because the idea is that the boss room is like it doubles as a shortcut to the temple from like an alternate entrance, and maybe I'll have some other stuff there. Yeah, there's like this big chasm that I originally had something to in here as well. That I never finished. I'll probably get down to it at some point. So anyways, it's time to open Blender, I guess, and do some modeling. Here's hoping I'll be able to figure something out. Oh yeah, and here's like this is what gets rendered onto the mini map. It's basically just a one-to-one copy of the level, but with all the colors, with all the textures removed and replaced with colors. Let's hide that. I think it's outdated anyways, so I need to delete it and replace it with something that's more accurate to the current map. Okay, so what we have here. This is where the Slanor village entrance is. Bunch of stuff here. And then I think this should be where the shortcut is. Maybe. And this should be like the main temple entrance. Well, maybe I should just get rid of this branch altogether and just move it over here. I think that's a good. I think that now that I have a better handle of how I want this part of the game to play out, I have a better idea of where things should go. Hold on. I'm just gonna make a backup of this real quick, because last thing I want to do is realize I made a big mistake. I can't undo it. You might be thinking, use version control, right? Well, I do have version control, but it's only for the actual um, GODOT project. It's not for the other assets that I'm using to generate the assets that go into the actual game. So I need to copy and paste it. Yeah, that's good. That's good. Okay, so now I can delete this without any fear. I think I will leave these tree billboards here. No, they're not billboards. They're like, I don't know what to call this wall of trees. I think I'll just leave it here. Maybe raise it up a little bit, make it, and just use it to fill in the density or the apparent density of the trees. Just like a bunch of different layers of them. Just the illusion of there being a lot more trees and that they aren't just flat boards. That is some weird geometry right here. What was going through my mind when I made this? I think I made this years ago, originally. Yeah, let's round this off, take advantage of the triangles that we have. Oh, where's that hole? Here it is. Let's fix it now before we forget. There we go. Was never there. Oh, hold on a second. My description is wrong. There we go. Now the description is correct. I'm doing the wrong thing by accident. What am I trying to do? How did I do this originally? I'm trying to do like reverse subdivide here. Yeah, there we go. Ooh, that looks terrible. That looks absolutely ugly. Okay, never mind then. Or I will do that, but I'll just do some adjustments first. Subdivide. Hmm. Trees are slanted. There we go. It's a bit off. Well, that explains it. That is pretty much perfect. Almost pretty much bang on, actually. Okay. All right, let's think about this for a moment. So the player arrives from his home. From over here. This area is like off limits for the time being. He follows the dude here. You fight the first enemy. And then you're led over here where you get to the village. Then the player is led this way. And then I think we'll have another thing over here, which will be where this used to go. And then this will be like a dead end. Wait, no, this will be over there. There'll be like a thing over here, like a shortcut or something over here. The shortcut's blocked off. And you realize the character that's leading you realizes we have to go the long way around, and that's this way. It's really good. I really like how I got the vertex colors on this hallway thing. I think I've been underutilizing the ability to like paint vertex colors in Blender, because you can transfer that into the Godot engine. It's like a standard shader feature. I might have to add it to the shader that I have been using. But yeah, you can use vertex colors, like painted vertex colors in shaders. Have that right there. Then over here. Oh, This is going to be really hard to work with. Okay, let's see if we can figure something out. Oh, here's an idea. Let's have like a raised area that's up. Yeah, let's have like a raised area here so that this stuff isn't wasted. This was originally going to be like just background stuff that you can't really, it's not really reachable. But yeah, let's actually use that for a level. I just need to figure out a good way to get up there. Oh, here's a good spot. Let's erase that. By the way, if you have an idea, let me know in the comments or in the like a level design idea or just any kind of idea. Let me know in the comments or in the chat. I mean, people don't usually watch the streams. I usually get like a decent number of views in the VODs. And if you're watching and you think you have a decent idea, let me know. I want to hear it. Pretty much any kind of idea, like world building. Although I guess in order for you to, I guess I'll have to tell you a bit more about the lore that I have in mind for this game. I guess I might as well tell you about it right now a little bit. I mean, if you care about it, that is. So, I'm trying to think of where to start. The overall tone of this game, I think, is probably going to be something kind of like, man, there's like a lot of. I'm still trying to figure out the overall identity of this game, but it's kind of going to have like an Ocarina of Time feel, in terms of gameplay at least. But I think the world building is going to be something kind of like a mixture between. Oh, man, I'm still trying. I'm not even sure really. Like Dragon Ball Z crossed with Warhammer 40,000. Kind of a weird combination, I think. But I'm going with like so it's gonna have like a shonen anime sort of feel, but with like or at least the protagonist can be kind of like a shonen anime sort of thing. But the world building is going to be going to have like a spiritual stuff in it. Some dark, some light, some dark. And the dark stuff is a lot like chaos. If I was to, if you're familiar with like Warhammer 40,000, that's kind of what I mean by that. And chaos in Warhammer 40,000 is like this extremely malevolent, like it's very hard to describe. If you want if you want to know what that's like, watch a there's a I'm probably not the best person to explain it. It's like actually I'm just gonna recommend you a different video to learn about that. There's this channel called Bricky. He's got like this multiple videos that basically explain Warhammer 40k. Pretty good start. Lots of memes. Very funny video actually, or very funny series of videos I should say. But yeah, just a warning ahead of time. It's very dark. But that's kind of the charm, I guess. Okay, so I guess I should say a few more actual details because I didn't really tell you much. But so there's 3 main species, factions. There's the humans, which is what you are. There's the Celestial Empire, or the Sabergene, also known as the Sabergene, which is like so Sabergene is the name of the species. Celestial Empire is the name of the galaxy-wide empire. And then there's the Kyrothians, which are the natives to the planet that this game takes place on. The Kyrothians are like those little furry dudes with the big ears and the big heads. And the Sabergene, which has a silent T at the start. It's not really silent. It's more like it's Saba, not Saba. And then Gene. And humanity is actually surprisingly nothing like it is in Warhammer 40,000. At least superficially it isn't. So in Warhammer 40,000, humanity is like this cruel regime of humans, of basically human supremacists. These humans are not like that, at least not at first. Or most of them, and even then most of them aren't. But events will happen in the course of the story that kind of change that. Not really, actually. I shouldn't say that. It's not fully true. But it's like they've become like disillusioned. But there's like multiple like levels of evil that kind of exists. The Sabergene are like this futuristic alien species. That believe that they are equivalent to that, like so self-obsessed and self-absorbed that they basically believe themselves to be equivalent to gods. And they believe that it is their right and duty to basically take over the whole galaxy and call it theirs. Humans are the first species that they've encountered that have the ability to there's a lot of geometry here. I'm going to clean some of this up. They're the first species that they've encountered that were able to travel faster than light, or had the technology to travel faster than light. and that like shattered their. Well, it didn't shatter it so much as it, but it challenged it because their ability to travel faster than light was like their core of their belief in their superiority. They believed that another species being able to do this was like, well, I guess heretical is like the wrong word to use, but it's like this is unacceptable. How can this exist? They must be destroyed. They'll challenge our. Yeah, you kind of get the picture. And it's gonna be like character. It's like the superficial, wide view of what that species faction is. And then, of course, there will be characters among them that kind of have their worldview shattered, realize they're not all that. But here's the thing, they're not going to be the main bad guys. They're like the red herring bad guys. So like halfway through the story, there's going to be like some sort of plot twist, some humans disillusioned with... Oh, I don't know if I should say they're disillusioned, but like they're tempted by the evil powers to like seek revenge or justice. They're tempted by basically the powers of chaos to like it like feeds on their anger. They want to wipe out. They want to like destroy the Saiyajin species. And your character is like, wait, they're not all evil. We can't do that. You can't kill them just because you can't like kill the whole species just because they're like led by an evil empire, right? That's the main idea behind the conflict in this game. And also, yeah, that's pretty much it for that conflict or that species. And I don't think that there's going to be any. As for the Kyrothians, I don't really plan on having any evil ones. I kind of intend for them to be kind of a bit more pure. Pure in the sense that they well, I just don't really have any plans to have any evil Kyrothians in this. They're supposed to be like in touch with nature, and I actually kind of intend for them to kind of have parallels to Christianity in like a positive way. Yeah. I might need to reproject this UV because there's no way that's going to match up. Uh, what did I just do? I think I messed something up. Uh, did I just press something? I'm not sure what I did, but I can't see what in the world? I can't see what's being selected. Oh, show overlays. Okay, that was a little scary. Bit of a scare there. Oh, Oh yeah, I was trying to I was trying to toggle X-ray. I must have clicked over on the wrong thing. Right, anyways. Select grass. I'm gonna wrap. We're just merging these vertices real quick. Ugh. I need to do something about this. This is a problem. There we go. Ooh, actually, putting the player up here. Well, actually, the fog might hide it. I'm worried that putting the player higher up on the level might break the illusion of the forest. But actually, now that I'm looking around, it might not. It might be okay. And the reason for that is because the fog is going to obscure a lot of the distant detail, and actually the draw distance isn't all that high in the game. You can't see it here because I'm viewing it in in Blender, which I'm using as basically level editor right now. Not sure if that's the best thing to do, but works for outdoor terrain in my experience. Just gonna reduce some geometry. Man, this is really haphazard. All right, so I'm going to have another wall of trees. I'm trying to figure out where it's going to go. This is absolutely, this is very ugly over here. This geometry. By the way, I created this texture myself in GIMP. It's basically just a bunch of noise textures, I think. I think that's how I made it. I could also just be completely misremembering that. I know there's a bunch of textures that I basically made, and there's a bunch of them that I downloaded from Screaming Brain Studios, I think it's called. Excellent resource for retro style 3D, or not, yeah, textures designed for 3D or retro 3D games. I'm trying to figure out which stuff to delete and which stuff to keep. I'm gonna delete all this disgusting stretched stuff. Ooh, don't be interesting. Putting a secret over here. And that's just something we can do in the future. In the meantime, let's just kind of leave it. I'm probably gonna forget about this. Let's be honest. But hey, you never know. Anyways, in case you're wondering, I am a fan of the Warhammer 40,000 universe. I've even collected and painted some of the miniatures. I would say that I didn't do a terrible job on them. I wouldn't say I'm an expert, but I'd say that I did a pretty decent job. Hmm? What? There's one wall of trees set up. It's 6 o'clock, so technically it's time for me to quit for the day. But I'm just gonna finish up with the trees here before I quit. Hopefully you don't mind if I extend the length of the video or VOD or stream, whatever it is to you. Well, if you're watching this, that's probably you probably like that. If you're watching this, I appreciate you for sticking through the boring, tedious parts of the creative process. Boring but necessary. Well, for me, it's necessary. For your perspective, you could probably just ignore this, to be honest. But regardless if you actually watch this, I appreciate your support. Thank you for subscribing. I've noticed that I have 66 subscribers now. Pretty cool to know that 66 people somewhere out there in the world are on some level excited about this project as I am. And the reason I work on this is because I feel like it's worth making. It's just one of those things where I feel like I actually have a good idea in the works and that it needs to be made. Just for the sake of it. I think that its existence would have a positive impact on the world. I think that it would be fun to play. First and foremost, fun to play. I think that's the number one thing a video game should be. I hear some designers say that they don't use the word fun, but I say we're talking about the actual mechanic. When we say we want the game to be fun, we're talking about the actual mechanics. Like, yeah, you can make the story depressing and stuff, but the actual act of like playing the game should have like some sort of, well, it should make you. I don't know if it should make you feel good, but it should be fun. Or well, maybe if you're really picky about the word fun, if you're really picky about not liking the word fun, then what if I rephrase that and say enjoyable to play or fulfilling? You should feel like you should look back on on the game that you played and think, wow, I enjoyed that. I'm hoping that this will be one of those games. But I mean, I'm not perfect. I don't know if I hope it'll be fun. I'll try my best to make a game that is fun. Okay. I think I'm getting pretty close to being done here for now. This is far from finished, this level. Still needs to. So my plans for the future is to probably delete a bunch of this terrain here. Set up a loading, import this into the engine. I think as for this chasm, I do have plans for it, but I plan on I plan on actually building that in the engine and not in the modeler, the in Blender. I might try to make these cliffs look better. They're kind of ugly right now. It's just a generic uh, rock texture stretched over it. Very ugly and definitely temporary. This I like, although admittedly it is being phased out in preference to a system of like layers and shaders that I came up with in a Godot engine. This texture I like. Actually, this is a little bit stretched over here, but the actual texture I really like. Okay, I think that's probably good for today. I'm going to save, exit out, save this. Come on, save. There we go. And I'll probably end the stream right now. Have a good night, guys. See you some other time.